Hi guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Ofensa Malele. I'm your education expert and I'm sitting here today with Jan Badenhorst. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you
Very
very much.
happy to have you here today. So I just want to ask, what is the benefits of studying via distance learning?
Yeah, I think distance learning, often people find it a bit scary. That it's daunting. They're not sure exactly how it's going to work. Is it more difficult than studying in a classroom? That kind of thing. I really think we try to offer distance learning in a way that hopefully makes it easier way of studying than in classroom. So let me take you through some of the reasons we believe people pick distance learning and talk about how does it actually work. So I think people pick distance learning because you don't have to stop working. You know, our students are working adults. They can't take a year out of their lives to go and study, but they need that qualification to get promoted. They need that qualification to apply for a job. So for starters, it's accessible. You don't have to be near a campus. We courier study material to you. You're going to speak to your lecturer over the phone. You're going to WhatsApp your lecturer. You're going to be in WhatsApp groups of other students. So it works at a distance. But even though it's distance, a lot of it is actually one-on-one. In the sense that if you get stuck, you're going to pick up the phone and speak to your lecturer, and it's a one-on-one conversation. But so certainly it's accessible. For the working person, you create your own schedule. So we're going to be pushing you to commit to a certain amount of studying time per week. But in the end, you're going to look at your real life and go, you know what, I have time on a Wednesday afternoon and a Saturday afternoon, and that's when I'm going to do my study. So you've got that flexibility to set it up in a way that fits into your life. I think with distance learning, there's much less of a rush, I must complete it by. If you get busy at work, you need to pause for a bit. You're going to pause, you're going to get back to it. There isn't this kind of deadline hanging over you that I think if you go to a classroom place, there's exam, there's a deadline.
Yeah.
There isn't another chance. I think with distance learning, you can choose to do it faster, but you can also choose to relax it a little bit and figure out how much studying you can fit into your life, and that will determine how fast you're going to do it. So it kind of your own schedule. I spoke about studying while you're working. Well, let me say one more thing about studying while you're working. You know, I think what happens if you're working in accounting and you never got a qualification in accounting, now you're studying qualification in accounting because that's the only way you're going to get your promotion.
Yeah.
Hopefully, what starts happening is you're learning something in the evening and go, oh, wait a minute, I can use that at work. And I also think that kind of studying becomes more and more successful. The more the studying relates to the work, it's not theoretical. I shouldn't have picked accounting. I failed accounting at school. I learned about debits and credits, in my study material last night. Tomorrow, when I'm discussing debits and credits with my colleague, I actually know more than I knew before. The benefit of distance learning isn't just I get the qualification at the end. You're hopefully studying the thing that you're already working with. And you're getting better at your work, you're adding more value in your place of work because you're more educated about the thing you're working on.
Yeah, and you're able to implement things as you move along.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think at the end, the qualification is what you want, but you're going to get a lot of value on the road to the qualification. The qualification is a stamp at the end, but there's a lot of value. I was going to talk about business communication. Often in these programs we offer, you're going to find business communication. It really matters whether the person reading your email reads a professional, well-written email or something that makes you look as if you're not that professional. You're learning it, you're using it, and hopefully it's a positive cycle. People start treating you better, start communicating more with you, start recognizing that, oh, you're upping yourself. I'll say that in general about you driving your studies. I mean, I employ people. The person who themselves are improving themselves by studying themselves, I highly rate that person. It says something about the person, the person's drive, the person's commitment to themselves. So there's a lot of positives in there. Okay, more about distance learning. I think it's useful to talk about what can one expect. I'm studying by distance learning. What do I expect? For starters, a lot of what happens is over the phone, over email, over WhatsApp. Certainly, I don't believe that you can study on that screen. I don't believe that. So your studies are online in the sense that you're going to be in a WhatsApp group you're going to email your lecturer, you're going to, lots of online chatting and communication.
Yeah.
You're going to do an assignment, take a photo, email it to us, and we're going to mark it. You're not going to post it to us.
Yeah.
But at the start of every subject, I'm sending you a box of books with a courier. Because I just, like I said, I don't believe you can study on a phone. I think it's nonsense. You might be able to read a book on a phone, but reading a book that, for enjoyment is not the same thing as studying a subject in a program, as you know. So with us, distance learning means I get physical books, I do physical work, but I use technology to make it all faster. That's why you'll see. And we use the technology you have. You have a phone, you can take a photo, you've done the assignment, you've taken a photo and emailing that, you're WhatsApping that to your lecturer, that they're marking it, they're giving you feedback. It all happens faster. Whereas if you had to do the assignment and post it back to me, you can imagine how much time gets lost. So I'm a fan of using the technology to speed things up. I'm not a fan of saying people can study even on a computer screen. I'm not a fan. I don't know to what extent you've done your studies on the computer screen. I bet you have physical books.
Yeah.
So you get your books. It explains to you where to start. You open up your first subject. You're working towards an assignment, short little test, short little practical piece you do. You're going to do that. Like I say, don't take a photo. You're going to send it to your lecturer. The lecturer's going to mark it. He's going to give you feedback. If you struggle with a bit, you both identifying what you're struggling with, and the person's helping you with that. And that's your cycle. You're working through the study material, reading, learning, doing an assignment. And if you feel you get stuck, speaking to a lecturer. If you feel you're not getting stuck, you're doing assignments, sending it in, getting marks for those assignments. You're also probably in a WhatsApp group with other students, with the lecturer. And often a lot of learning happens because you ask a question, and before the lecturer answers, there's another student that just yesterday had the same question has a good answer.
Yeah.
So, and it also gives you more of a feeling of there are a community of people like me, older people, we're not children, we're working adults, studying. We live in a time where it's normal that you have a WhatsApp community, you have a Facebook community. So yes, there's a little group only for students. They're studying the same thing as you, so there's that help coming in. The lecturer is there, there's that help coming in, and that's where you work yourself through the course. If there is a formal exam with the native programs, that you're working towards an exam that's offered, that's set up by the Department of Higher Education and Training. So there will be a date when you must register for the exam, and you're going to know, cool, if I want to write my exam in November, I must register by June, July. And you're also going to know that to write that exam, I must have finished a certain amount of classwork, a certain amount of work with the college, that the college marks, that the college gives me a point for. They don't want you to walk into a native exam and the college mark is 0. And you also don't want to. You're doing the studying to prepare you for the exam. You're passing your class tests, which is telling you you're becoming ready to write that final exam.
Yeah.
And the point you get at the end of all of it, some of the point comes out of the exam and some of it comes out of your class mark. But so I guess the point I'm making is you need to understand when is the exam, when must I register for the exam, because that's 2-3 months before the exam. You need to say, I want to write. And then you got to look at, well, what must I have? You probably have to send in your ID. You have to have finished a certain amount of class work and class tests and have passed that class work to be accepted onto that exam.
And does Bellevue help its students in registering for the exams, or is that kind of like a self-sufficient?
No. We help the student. Certainly, we help the student. And the same as with any exam that's kind of offered countrywide, the earlier on you decide what exam session you're aiming for, the earlier you say that, the more time you have to prepare, the better chances that you're going to get an exam seat that suits you. Because what's going to happen is if you're a last minute registering for an exam, then they're going to go, there's exams here, there, and over there. And the furthest place away from you is the one who's still going to have a seat open. Yeah. But no, we certainly help students with that. And for us, our measure of success is whether the students pass that exam. So we want to teach them, we want them to get to the exam, exam.
Yeah.
At the end of this studying is a national diploma or a national certificate. a serious, formal, accredited document saying, you're at that level, you've done that work. It's a thing that changes your life. It's a thing that you need to apply for that job. It's a thing that you need to even be able to apply for that.
You consider for that promotion?
Yeah, for promotion. So the point is to get to that thing. The point is to get to that thing. Yeah.
And so lastly, what would you say distinguishes you guys from other distance learning colleges?
I have to resist the urge to tell you they're bad, I'm good. I think we try to distinguish ourselves in the first place by being fast. We do not want you to study slowly. We want you to study fast. And we do things to push. So if you want to study slower, if you need to, I'm not going to penalize you.
Okay.
But if you want to move faster, the faster you want to move, the faster I'm going to move. So we're certainly allergic to delays in studying. If you need more study material, I'm going to courier it to you, and it's going to happen fast.
Okay.
If you need to communicate with me, there's many ways to communicate, and there's systems. We have the red alert system. If you feel it's not happening fast enough, you're going to go to a red alert form, fill it in. If that red alert form comes in, I'm not going home. That's how we treat the letter. I'm not going home, and the other people involved, we're not going home.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I can solve your problem immediately. I'm saying it's called a red alert for a reason.
Yeah.
You can use it, and we treat it like that.
Mm.
And for us, we need to engage with it, and we need to quickly come back to you. If I don't have an answer, I'm still going to come back to you and go, listen, I've got your red alert. I don't have an answer right now. Give me 6 hours. I'm working on it. So high level of communication, fast, no delays, no necessary delays, high level of communication. I sometimes think one does not want a distance education student to feel that you never phone me.
Yeah.
You ask the students at different colleges, they have different experiences. Hopefully our students, the experiences, they phone me, they nudge me. They're a bit of a mother who says, come on, have you done that bit yet? Yeah. They help me develop a schedule of studying. But there's engagement, there's communication. Sure, you're an adult learner.
Yeah.
You must bring 50% to the party, but the college must also bring 50%. And you see that in the engagements happening from the college. Whether I'm WhatsApping you, emailing you, or phoning you, it's that proactive communication and pushing from the college side. I think that makes us different. And listen, finances are real. We live in a world where money matters. And I don't want students to... we set up the colleges to try to avoid the situation where students feels it's financially unfair. So let's talk about what do I think would be financially unfair. You signed up to study with me, office administration. You've studied for 4.5 months. You're paying me every monthly, and they move you from the office administration department to the accounting department. And you go up, I don't want to study office administration anymore. And let's say I don't offer accounting. You go, I need to study accounting. I've been promoted to accounting. I'm studying the wrong thing. What happens financially in that scenario with the student, between the student and the college? So with us, you're going to, and I'm not encouraging it, but for you to feel financially fairly treated, I must allow you to cancel. Some places where you study will go, you can't cancel.
That means a lot.
You study at university, they will tell you, if you don't cancel before 15 April, you're paying for the whole year. So with us, I'm going to go, listen, it's the middle of April. Please don't cancel. Finish your qualification because it is valuable.
Yeah.
You're going to go, no, love to, no, thank you. And I'm going to go, cool. It's the middle of April. I'm going to need you to pay me the normal monthly amount at the end of April. There might be a small cancellation fee, small, if there is one, and off you go. Now remember, you might have signed up with me for a 36-month program.
Yeah. Just
to give you a feel for it, at 1,000 Rand a month. You've now paid me 5,000 Rand. I'm writing off 31,000. But that's why the university says you've committed to 60,000 or 100,000 rand for the year, after a certain point, I don't care if you come to class, you owe me the money. And I think people feel unfairly treated. You might tell me, Jan, I understand why the university does it. I'm telling you, the student to whom it happens goes, come on, I went to class for 4 months, you make me pay for 12 months.
Yeah.
So very much, we really think about what rules do we create for ourselves so that people do not feel financially treated financially unfairly. And certainly, if you're not studying, I ain't going to take your money. We've never blacklisted a student. I don't want to get involved in the negative side. I need to keep you studying. I need to keep you motivated. And if I fail at that, then I haven't earned the money you're paying me.
Yeah.
And life changes. You're an adult. Life changes. Things change.
Things change very quickly.
You lose your job. And you can't afford to study. Am I now going to send you a lawyer's letter to say where's the rest of my money? No. So, yeah, it feels unfair to the student. I might go from a business perspective, as other businesses do it. It's legal, but as Tuli Modonsela said about something a year ago, the question isn't whether it's legal. The question is whether it's right. Absolutely. So I think we try to distinguish the difference between legal and right. So it might be legal for me to charge you for all of that money, but I don't think it's right. And we definitely have students that start studying with us. Something happens in their lives, they can't continue. But because we treat them like that, they're back 2 years later when their situation has changed, because their experience of us was being treated fairly.
They appreciated that experience.
Yeah,
it's
fair. I feel it's fair. Yeah. So anyway, to summarize, I think speed, don't delay me, communication, interaction from the college, and when it comes to finances, treat me fairly.
Then that's a nice trifecta you have.
Yes.
You heard it here, guys. Speed, communication, and treat us fairly. That's all every student wants. But this brings us to the end of the video. Thank you very much.
Thank you
for sitting down with me today. That was very insightful. I appreciate you sparing your time like this. So guys, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For more videos like this, we're going to be pumping out more, I promise you that much. More conversations with Mr. Badenhorst here and tons of other people.
Yeah.
So please subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on that notification bell so you know when we've dropped a new video. Thank you very much for watching. See you guys in the next episode.
Thank you. Thank you very much.